Hello, this video is going to have a quick look at divergent analysis. To put it bluntly, in study of religion, this is the only way to get an A, so it's really important. When we have a look at that word divergent, we have to understand that it means to be different and possibly contradictory. For example, if I was to watch an episode of Doctor Who, which I love, I might come away with a completely different message from that episode than you would if you watched the same thing. It's that distinction, that difference that's important. Similarly, 20 people could go to Mass, and 20 people come away with 20 different meanings or messages from the same Mass. The analysis of how and why is divergent analysis. So, to demonstrate an A, you must display a particular type of knowledge, not a quantity. That type of knowledge is divergent knowledge, and the quantity of knowledge is diverse. That's the difference between an A and a B on your criteria sheet. Divergent examples in study of religion, there are 5 of them. They are across world religions, within a world religion, within a tradition, across geographical locations, and over time. We're going to have a quick look at each one in turn. So across world religions, the ritual of marriage in Judaism and Hinduism looks completely different. A number of different religions share the ritual of marriage, but it's what it looks like that is divergent. And then we have within a world religion, Theravada and Mahayana schools of Buddhism have 2 opposing thoughts on how to achieve enlightenment. How is this the case? Why did this come to be? That discussion is your divergent analysis. And then we have within a tradition. So Catholic adherents' responses to ethical issues might be completely different. Would all Catholics respond to the same ethical issue in the same way? And if not, why not? Over geographical locations, we could have Buddhists who live in Tibet and Sri Lanka who deal with death rituals in completely different ways. Why? And then over time, the role of women in the Anglican Church, for example. 1,000 years ago, it was a completely different ballgame to what it is now. 50 years ago, it was completely different as well. Why the change? The analysis of that is the important part. So let's take the Theravada Mahayana beliefs on attaining enlightenment as our example. What we have is the ultimate goal to end suffering. The 4 Noble Truths state that life is suffering. This is a shared understanding of a concept. However, Theravada Buddhism teaches to end the suffering of the self, whereas Mahayana Buddhism teaches to end the suffering of others. So why the distinction? If you can define that, that in itself is divergent analysis. But let's take it further. So we have the ultimate goal of reaching enlightenment. We have a shared concept in the middle of samsara, the 4 Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and karma. But we have Theravada Buddhism teaching that personal importance is placed above all others. So we have monks in monasteries meditating to achieve enlightenment, whereas Mahayana Buddhism teaches helping others in reaching enlightenment is the purpose. What if a Theravada Buddhist believes in the Mahayana way of doing things? That becomes your divergent analysis. Ultimately, it is the way in which you demonstrate your understanding. So there is another video that should be linked on the screen now to give you an example of that. It draws the parallel of the Buddha with a doctor. Thank you.